Question. Okay, so if I get to when I get to the point of getting a phone number, and separating, going our own ways, what would be a good way to follow up to that to do a second or third date or more?
Follow-up is the easiest part, and follow-up is based on how well you listened during the initial encounter. What did you find out about her? I call it gathering information. What did you find out about her? What did she like? What did you guys talk about? Like, for instance, okay, a student of mine was in a boot camp. Okay, we're in New York City. We did the tic-tac-toe opener, which is one of my favorite openers in a market where you actually, I've got it on one of the products. I've got it on 20 best openers, but let's forget about the way the opener is done. Let's talk about the next thing, okay? So what happens is that he found out during the encounter that she makes homemade chicken tacos. He also played tic-tac-toe with her on the board, on the freezer door at Whole Foods, right? And what happened was the follow-up was really simple. About 4 or 5 hours later, I said, text her. You found out information about her. I said, what did you find out about her? She makes chicken tacos. She loves to play games because she loved the tic-tac-toe, right? So I said, fine. I said, text her this. Next time we play Hangman at Whole Foods, smiley face, right? So he texted her on a Saturday night at 9 o'clock. Beautiful woman, too. 9:15, 15 minutes later, the text came back. She goes, you're on. She goes, I'll kick your ass in Hangman. So it continued the moment that they had, because women are like a romantic comedy. And they want this serendipitous moment to happen. They want to be able to feel like they've met you in this like really unique situation. And they want you to remember the details. So what happens is, and also what happens is you start in the relationship too, because they all want to believe that they met you over coffee. And then you texted about like the slow roast you was having. And then the next thing you know, you went out to this coffee shop afterwards and you had slow roast together. You see what I'm talking about? That's how women think. It becomes like this bonding thing. So you got to remember what you talked about. You text her, call her, and continue that conversation, right? And then when you ask her out, maybe you go and tell her you actually go and have Hangman over Italian roast coffee because it's great. And then if you have a good time on the date, you find out things about the date. So you find out that she's a really great cook. And then you're basically playing with her and go, all right, when are you cooking me that meal? Next week? Are you cooking me those chicken tacos next week? Absolutely, you're on. Well, I'll bring you this great Italian roast coffee then. So you continue on things because you're building it. It's like you're writing a story. The problem is a lot of people will go out on a date, they'll ask a girl out, they'll find out no information whatsoever, they'll have to call them up on the phone, they don't know who this person is, then they're wondering what to do on a date, they don't listen on the date, then they wonder when to ask her out on the date, and it's this incomplete story. If you think of every relationship that ever works out, you got a beginning, you got a middle, and you got an end. Now we all know what the end is like, and we want to forget about that because divorce and all the other stuff. But let's go to the beginning and the middle because that's the fun part, right? But you're creating a story. So think about the next time you meet a woman, start writing down the details and start writing in the story. And think about what the next chapter would be in that story. You don't want to go sporadic. You don't want to all of a sudden go from like talking to her about water to all of a sudden say, let's get her drunk on vodka. Wait a second, where's the middle of that, right? You want to go and you want to complete this whole story. So think about how the story unfolds. That's what listening is all about.